Hi, I'm Cara Barrett, editor at Hodinkee, the leading online watch publication. Rolex is one of the few brands, if not the only brand, that has a very specific aesthetic. They are sporty, they are active, they are tool watches. That's kind of their main DNA. In the 50s, they came out with the Submariner, the Explorer, the Milgauss, the GMT, and they were all watches that were designed and made to be used as tools. And so that's their bread and butter, and it still is today. It kind of evolved into a luxury brand later in life, which now is what they're known for. So that's kind of the interesting thing about them, is they initially were tool watches, which have now become luxury. Rolex is kind of one of those brands that sits on the lower end of the spectrum as far as luxury watches are concerned. The Submariner is $8,000. The entry-level watch at Rolex is $5,000 with the Oyster Perpetual. Their three qualities are self-winding, waterproof, and precision, and they really focus on quality. It takes 1 year to make a Rolex. They go through extensive testing, the accuracy, the chronometer, the timing. It's all about telling the right time, keeping the right time. They also have extensive service work after, so if you ever have a problem with your Rolex, you can take it to them and they'll fix it. The clasp is opened and closed 1,000 times before it leaves, so you know that when you get it, it's not going to break. The whole point of a Rolex.
Differential pricing allows railroads to provide rail service to every customer at the best possible price that will generate the revenue needed to keep the railroad safe and operational. Let's explore how.
Imagine a rail line with 3 customers: a timber company, a grain facility, and a chemical company. The timber company and the grain facility have railroads, barges, and trucks competing for their business, while the nearby chemical company has access to rail and trucks at this location. Let's say the railroad needs to make at least $6 to cover its cost to build and operate the line. The timber plant and the grain facility will pay no more than $1 before taking their business to the barge or trucking company competing with the railroad for the business. So the railroad charges the chemical company $4 to ship its chemicals, a price the truck company cannot beat, and $1 each for the timber plant and the grain facility to transport their goods. Now imagine the railroad tried to charge the grain, timber, and chemical customers the same rate, $2 for rail service. In theory, this would give the chemical company a $2 rate, but the timber plant and grain facility would take their business elsewhere, and the chemical company would eventually be forced to pay $6 for service or face shutdown of the rail line. This scenario illustrates why railroads use differential pricing to broaden their customer base and distribute costs across that base.
criteria. Number 1. A complete functional product is composed of one item, with one or several complementary items that support it. Number 2. The one item, which is redundant by itself, is sold at a very low price, or sometimes even given away for free. Number 3. The complementary item is sold at a significant margin and requires replacement after only a few uses. We see this kind of thing on a daily basis, and as shoppers for some reason we think it is okay.
In 1988, Hewlett-Packard achieved just that, with the first mass-market inkjet printer, which sold for about $1,000. But a lot has changed since then. Today, you can buy a brand new printer for around $35, but there's a catch. When the ink runs out in one of these printers, you need to buy specific cartridges, and these cartridges are expensive. So why are the cartridges so pricey?
Oh, that's simple. Greed. And an outdated razor and blades model.
This is David Connett. He's the former editor of The Recycler and has been lobbying for change in the printer ink industry for years.
They sell the printers cheap, they sell the consumables at a very expensive price, and basically it's a formula. The cheaper the printer, the more expensive the consumables.
Hi, my name is Nur Adila and I will be explaining about a pricing strategy mix. Okay, pricing strategy mix is actually a combination of various price and quality to show 4 combination of pricing strategy. The first one is economy strategy. Economy strategy is a value orientation. It means that the company that apply an economic strategy didn't focus to gain a profit but to increase their value. In economic strategy, the quality of the product are low and the price are also low. For an example, the product that we commonly use in our daily life. If this product got broken in the future, we didn't mind too much because we can always buy a new product since the price of the product is low. The next one is a penetration strategy. For a penetration strategy, the quality of the product are high but being sold in a low price. Okay, this strategy commonly been applied by a company that first introduced their product along with the offer. Okay, this strategy is best to be introduced with demands that are elasticity. It means that the people will tend to buy their product whether the price are increased or low, since the quality of the product is high. Okay, the next one is a scheming strategy. Scheming strategy is a profit orientation. A company that apply this strategy focus to get a profit. In a scheming strategy, the quality of the product are low but being sold in a high price. It can clearly be seen in a books company. When they first introduce a books, the price of the books are high, but when along with the time, the price of the book will get lower. Okay, the company stands to collect a profit from a several people that willing to buy the books at the higher price when they first introduce the books. The last one are premium strategy. Premium strategy is high quality and high price. It can be seen with such a high fancy brands, for example Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and so on. Okay, they really focus to sell their product with a high volume, but they focus to gain a profit. Okay, so people that product is known as a noble person.